Now what this return effects has to do is, so it should return so an object. So with that, it should have all the properties actually. That means it should return an object. This object will have background color. That background color is coming from this .bg color. So we have color is coming from this .txt color, and it is having text align is coming from this .align. This is the return value. It is accessing the return value and using that return value. So this is the approach here. That means we have a function called return effects. This function is returning these effects. Sorry. It is returning those effects. Now, actually, it should return those effects. This is the return type. This should return those effects actually. So when we click on apply button, the new effects must be defined there. That means usually here a button, I will write a click event and I will define apply click. So we need to define the function apply click. So here I'm adding a function public apply click. On apply click, I am calling this return effects. Return effects function is called. And this return effects function is applied here. That means on apply effects, here apply click. On apply click, we are calling that return effects method here. We have to use a different name to collect those values because we want on apply click actually. Now ng style is not using an object directly. ng style is using a method. It is using a method. That method is returning an object. So directly it can use an object. Directly it can use properties and methods of an object, properties and values of an object. And it can use a method with return type. I'm selecting here, it is working fine. I'm selecting here working fine. So important is I want on apply effects. Then usually what happens is, because here you are defining the same, what we can do is this return effects function, I'm configuring this return effects function with some alias values. It should return that particular functionality. Currently, because it is globally defined, so it is applied directly. Suppose I'm removing that and I am adding that. I'm adding that here. Means in a function, another function you are trying to do. Usually a method here configured. So another method, it can contain a call or it can contain a callback, but directly you cannot define a function definition. Then actually what we are expecting here. So what we are expecting here is usually the values you apply here and the values you bind should not be same. It should be different so that we can later define those options and configure them. So without apply click also, we can define those effects. This time what we are doing is we are creating a function. Function is returning a value. Now the question is why you return a function? Because we want this to happen on different events. On click it should happen, on change it should happen. So that means from menu user selects an option, or from button user clicks. The same thing should happen several times. Then better create a reusable function, and through that function return those effects. If you want this to apply, only on button click, that means here actually we are binding them. So here I am defining, so public. So here I defined new BG color, and we are defining so new text color like this. I'm defining new align, so new align like this. In this method, what we do is, in this method we collect them. So this dot new BG color is equal to this dot BG color like this. And here we will apply the new background color. So that means not directly the BG color. So the new BG color. And similarly, this dot new TXT color, new text color is equal to this dot TXT color. And another is this dot new align is equal to this dot align. And here we will use only the new ones. That means the new text color, TXT color. So TXT color, we are applying that. And here we are defining the new align color. What is this intention is nothing but, generally the main intention is this, that so when you are defining the values, here, configuring the values, I selected green, so I selected white, I selected alignments. Then we don't want the colors to be applied immediately. And actually this should return, all this should return here on apply click. That means what we do is dissolve functionality. So dissolve functionality, that means the new values you are collecting. We need to collect all these values on apply click and pass them into that function. Then it can apply that values dynamically. You know how do we pass those values into that function? That means we can define function with parameters and pass those values. You just created a method, but it is not having any values here. That means values are not supplied into it. New BG color, everything are empty. Those values you are applying here. That means you are configuring those values here. On apply click, we are collecting those values. On apply click, we are collecting the values and returning the effects. So here, so actually that is not the point. A right way is pass the parameters, collect those parameters and use them. That means now here we are configuring them. And I'm selecting the colors. Those colors are not applied here. I click on apply effects, then they will be applied. That will be better. That means I change the color. It is not changing now. It is not changing. I apply, then it will change. I change the alignment, then apply, then it will change. We have to click on apply button, then it will affect. So that means our intention is don't change immediately, because for every